All right, boys, welcome to the second video ever on the BDGEBets channel. If you didn't see the first video and you like the NBA, go check it out. We talked about some NBA futures going to the finals. Look a little ahead of that. And today we are going over NFL bets, which is why Jameson is joining me. NFL futures for this season. This is the best time to buy. Actually, the best time to buy was before, but we missed that even.
Big value town right now.
Dude.
I know it's May. I know it's early, but that's what they want you to think. They want you to think, no one's going to bet right now. This is the time to bet because you're going to get these lines that you're only going to get for now. August, they're going to be on those. Right now's the time.
Yes, this is where we get massive value. We're going to go one by one through our slips, our top 5 guys for each of us. And we're going to start with the guy that's on both of our slips.
Just hate him.
Just absolutely fading the hell out of him. The #1 pick, the most hyped up player since Trevor Lawrence, saying he's a generational talent.
Saying he's him.
Williams.
That's what they're saying.
His line is set for yards at 3,550.5, and his line is set at 23.5 touchdowns. You took the touchdowns. I took the yards.
No matter what.
He's just bad.
Throwing interceptions, over. Throwing rushing yards, under. Don't matter.
No,
Caleb,
don't matter.
We're not for it.
No. 100%. Now, I do want to break this down from a real numbers perspective of we don't think Caleb's a bad player. We don't think he's going to be just a horrible bust. We don't think he's going to just come in and just do shit with this fantastic team they assembled around him. We just think these numbers are a little bit unrealistic.
It's just like they're giving him the assumption like everything's going to work out.
Yes.
No rookie fuck-ups.
Yeah, and that's a high bar to hold is this idea that I get he's a lot around him. Listen, you look at his supporting cast, and brother has damn near everything you need when you're looking at it.
DJ Moore, Roma Dunze, Cole Kmet, who I ain't even
DeAndre
a big
Swift. Yeah, he has guys that are all going to catch the rock. Last year, Keenan Allen, 1,200 yards. DJ Moore, 1,300 yards. DeAndre Swift of the Eagles backfield had a low year at 214 yards. The ball needs to get around. If you're going to cut this line in threes, every player, every wide receiver, Keenan, DJ, Rome, would need 1,100 yards each. Can he distribute the rock like that?
That's a lot.
Is he going to be getting the rock around like that?
That's a lot of numbers.
Yeah, I mean, they're good, but are they all each getting 1,000?
Yeah, the Bears hype train's just gotten way too high. The reason I took the touchdowns is it's at 23.5, which means he would need 24. 24 passing touchdowns as a rookie is you got to be him. For example, some of the best rookie quarterbacks ever, Dak Prescott, won Rookie of the Year, took them to the playoffs, didn't throw 24 touchdowns. Andrew Luck, a dog. Caleb Williams is compared to Andrew Luck. Best quarterback since Andrew Luck. Generational talent like Andrew Luck. Insane. In his rookie year, didn't throw 24 touchdowns. CJ Stroud, everyone's favorite rookie right now, not even him last year, threw 24 touchdowns. Only 5 rookie quarterbacks ever have thrown 24 touchdowns or more in their rookie season. I'm just got to side with the side of history on this one. I like the under. 23.5, hitting that 24 mark is just a S-tier threshold, and while I think he's a great prospect, I'm not going to just assume he'll get there year one. Everything's going to be right.
Listen, I completely agree with you. Only 12 quarterbacks have also hit the over on the yards mark. For adding the extra 50 in, it was even raised from earlier when they originally released it at 35. Okay. So they gave an extra 50 yards, and that cut off 2 people.
Gave us that extra value.
Gave that extra value of only 12 for the yards, only 5 for the tugs. That is not a lot of numbers to go off of.
No.
That is not a lot. So I'm full fade, Caleb, and I completely agree with you there. I think that's just one of the best overall values we can have. If we're going to stick to the rookies, I have a few on my list. I have a couple on my list.
Big grasp on the rooks.
Big grasp on the rooks because I feel like I did a ton of breakdown. Draft just happened. They're fresh in my brain. Their film's fresh in my brain. And I know for a damn fact Jayden Daniels is not getting over 3,150 yards.
No rookie QBs doing good on Guts Watch. None of them.
No. Jayden, I'm actually not touching the Penix and Bo Nix. Their lines are they're low enough to where I'm not fucking with them. Yeah. But Jayden Daniels over 3,000 just scares me. He's done it one single time in his 5 starting years in college.
That's not a great transition.
No, he came out of college, was supposed to be the next Lamar Jackson, everything. Some people are still comparing him there.
Yep.
And he had 1 elite season with 2 top 17 picks.
I mean,
everything going right.
For context, like you brought up Lamar Jackson, they have his rushing line out at 500 yards. Like,
Yeah.
they know that's inferring he's going to be running his ass off. To me, it's like they're contradicting themselves with these lines,
Yeah.
putting that so high as well as the yards.
Like, do you really think he's going to have over just like 4K season pretty much? They're assuming he's getting 3,800 yards.
yeah,
That's
no,
that.
total.
No,
yeah,
no, that's
I don't
not
see
happening.
it happening. You mentioned before, we talked about this off camera, like the Cliff Kingsbury factor.
Cliff Kingsbury's
Like,
now the OC.
Just because he did it with Kyler doesn't mean this is like the same plug and play move here.
Yeah, he only had one season over 20 touchdowns, or over 17 touchdowns even. So the line for that kind of looks a little bit juicy for me too. Obviously, having Scary Terry as a red zone threat who catches literally everything.
Yeah,
I didn't
Eckler
really
could
wanna
be an
take it.
asshole and
Yeah.
have 0 rushing touchdowns with like 6 receiving. So
Yeah, so touchdowns I'm kind of staying away from, but 100% I'm on the yards. I get they brought in a lot of assets for him. They brought in, obviously, first off, they brought in Austin Eckler. They brought in Zach Ertz. They drafted Luke McCaffrey. I get all that. I just don't think this team's that good. They still have so many holes on
all
defense,
the names
too.
you just named, it's like Eckler's like
Washed.
dead. Zach Ertz, don't know
Dead.
how he's in the league. Luke McCaffrey, he's a
Was a
McCaffrey.
reach at pick
But
100.
yeah, like him being in the first 3 rounds, like if his name wasn't McCaffrey, we wouldn't be that hyped.
Absolutely not.
Jahan Dotson, not that great.
Jahan Dotson, yeah, I know.
Not
It's
that
sad. It's a sad time. I sold him in 2 dynasties.
This is going to be like one of those years where we're like, again, imagine how good Terry would be if he had a good quarterback. Like,
Oh,
that
yeah.
hasn't changed.
No, and I think they fucked up not taking Drake here. But again,
Period. Another video.
that's a different topic for a different thing. Today we're talking bets, and I think this is the best value. Again, I just don't see it happening over 3K, so we are going to hammer the under there, sticking with one more rookie. And this pairs with the bet you have.
Perfect.
You want to talk about yours first, and I'll talk about the rookie that pairs?
Me and Gut, as a group, as a duo, we are high on the Jaguars, okay? The
Sue
market
us.
hasn't caught up. Trevor Lawrence over 4,000 passing yards, 3,999.5 to be exact. Let me tell you this. This isn't like
Let me talk to you for a second.
this isn't like Caleb and Jayden where it's like, oh, could they do this? We don't have much to, go off of. No, Trevor Lawrence has gone over 4,000 back-to-back seasons under Doug Peterson. So that's enough in alone to already have a lean. But let's also look at the Jaguars last year. Everything went wrong for them.
Yeah, literally everything.
Bad luck everywhere. Calvin
many
Ridley
drops.
didn't live up to expectations. Trevor Lawrence still went over 4,000. Trevor Lawrence, banged up, still went over 4,000. Christian Kirk, missed time. Trevor Lawrence, over 4,000. Trevor Lawrence missed time. He still went over 4,000 yards.
Fine.
Like, what else do you need? He's been there. He's done that in any circumstance. If things just like, I'm not even saying he needs to be lucky, but if things just bounce his way a little bit more where bad luck doesn't happen, he's just even sit in the middle, we could see an easy 43, 44, 4,500 yard season from T-Law.
He might go 5K mark.
Dude,
you never know.
is he MVP? Do we need a separate video MVP
We're
odds?
going to have an MVP
Trevor
odds
Lawrence,
video.
great
Trevor
value.
Lawrence to the fucking moon.
Anything
in
that's
value.
like as long as he has that number 3 of 3,000 in his season-long projection, that's underrated.
Yeah, no, that's taking him. I'm going to pair him with the rookie they just drafted.
Okay.
BTJ, his yards mark came out at 800.
That would be a good
Now
correlation.
It's tough for me. I like it. I don't love it. I love his touchdowns.
Okay.
Why? His number one receiver the past 2 years has gone over this mark with ease. Calvin Ridley last year sucked dick, was horrendous. Not a good receiver. Dropped probably 10 of them, but he caught 8 of them, and that's what matters. I think BTJ is the best red zone threat receiver in this entire draft class, even including Marvin Harrison.
Big pick.
This brother
Jags.
scored 17 touchdowns, was the leader by 2 touchdowns in the NCAA. He is an addict for the end zone and goes and gets balls. I think that's why they're going to bring him into this offense. He's wearing number 7, a number that is known for mossing people. He is going to go up and get balls.
We should have started with that.
Yeah, facts.
Where's
like
number
that,
7?
Like
come
that
on.
is just drip.
Yeah.
Like, he's going to be
great,
swaggy.
great aura from BTJ.
The aura is through the roof. Yeah.
This
again,
is making me like hyped up. Like we should have taken T-Law touchdowns.
Yeah, we should have just
Hammer
paired
that
it.
in there.
Hammer,
It's
put in the
plus money.
spicy.
It's a spicy.
Yeah, but again, there's no real threats around him. Christian Kirk really dragged behind in targets last year to Calvin. Like, I think they starting to see him as a second option. Evan Ingram would be a threat, but he just doesn't score. Like,
Yeah,
he
I
just
mean,
catches everything.
4 touchdowns is what he had last year, and like off of 114 receptions. Like,
Yeah.
he's
And-
not the touchdown threat you have to worry about if you're going for the BTJ over.
Yeah, no, and that's what I would be. That's why I'm kind of hesitant about yards. Though is they added Gabe Davis, they added Evan Ingram last year, they added Kirk. Like, if these guys that are like going to take yards away from him, I could see it happening. I think the red zone there just going to hammer him though.
Yeah, that's probably why they took him.
Yeah.
Like they're not drafting him like, hey, do we need to hit our yards prop? They said no, we
They're
need to
like,
hit
"We
our
need a
touchdown prop.
Fair enough. All right, heading into our next guy, we have. Oh Lord.
Who you doing to me?
Are we gonna do it to him?
Jay
Are
Herbo?
we gonna do it to him?
Jay Herbo?
Letting the boys know.
Justin Herbert, for some god unknown reason, is sitting at 3,600 passing yards next season. And I know you're thinking, well, Jameson, I know that reason, Greg Roman. Fuck off, Greg Roman, all right? You're like, no quarterback under Greg Roman has thrown for 3,600 yards. Name me one quarterback that's even comparable to Justin Herbert that Greg Roman has had. You can't use the comp of what Kaepernick did, what Lamar did. It's just completely different play styles. I know the wide receiver room is not good. I know the wide receiver room is dog shit, in fact.
Damn.
But it doesn't matter.
Good disrespect.
3,600 yards across 17 games is 211 yards a game. And I guarantee this, their line is at 3,600 right now. Again, breaks down to 211. I promise you, week one, Justin Herbert's passing yard line is not going to be 210.5 yards. It's probably going to be 250, 240, 260. The math ain't mathin' for me. Him being not even just around the 4K mark, well below it.
Yeah, especially you look at that division too. Like, who's really like got an elite secondary?
Yeah.
Like KC just lost Jerry Sneed, and the Raiders certainly ain't got fucking nobody. Broncos, I mean, they've Pat, but like that's it.
Simmons left.
Yep.
Like I'm not preaching for Justin Herbert to go throw 4,500 like I said T-Law has the upside to do. It's like, this is baby numbers.
Yeah, this is
3,600. Like
300 yards off of Bryce Young.
Yeah, that's like, come on.
That is. I love Bryce.
It just grosses me out.
Yeah, that's insane that his line is this low.
Like
so that's what I'm slamming it.
Last year, he was dog shit. The Chargers were dog shit, and he didn't hit this line because he was hurt. If you think he's going to get hurt, that's a whole different bet of just taking the under, of course. But assuming he's healthy, he was on pace with this. Like, he's gotten this every single year or have been on pace to, coach or not.
Is his rushing line came out?
No, it's just, they have only passing for him, not touchdowns, nothing.
I wonder what they're going to.
I'm going to make a whole Justin Herbert video.
Is he going to be scooting? White man running the football?
Maybe. If Greg...
Is he going to be scooting?
If his line
triple
comes
option?
Out, like, Justin Herbert over under 400 rushing yards next season, then I'll be like, okay, excuse the fuck out of me. But that ain't happening.
He's the next Lamar. You just don't know it yet.
No, it's
He's
ridiculous.
6'6" and can scoot.
He's a pure pocket passer that slings the rock.
Listen, I agree with you. That line's just too low for me. If that was like 3.8, I'd be like,
It genuinely caught me off guard when I was like looking through. Like, I wasn't expecting big numbers, but that's just...
I was expecting around the 3.8 mark. Like, that's
straight mean.
Him like pushing 4K would make sense. Yeah. Even under Harbaugh, I feel like he's still gonna get the attempts.
I mean, Harbaugh's got to know like what he's working with. Like even if Harbaugh's game plan is to run the rock, like you're gonna try that and you're gonna get stuffed with J.K. Dobbins and Gus Edwards, and you're gonna have to pass.
Especially because like they drafted O-line this year, but their line still isn't top.
No.
So yeah, well they're gonna have to figure that one out real quick. The yards looking spicy over there. But if you don't like that line, we can slam another lower. Derrick Henry?
We could fade.
We could fade more.
Speaking of
big fade,
former Greg Roman team.
Facts. Derrick Henry at 1,000 or 999.5 rushing yards. His touchdown line is set at a 10.5. So his touchdown line's high. Rushing line is low for Derrick Henry, but I think we're going to even go lower than that, and I have reasons to back it up.
Yeah, I think that fits into the narrative we're going for. Like, we ain't saying he's not going to score.
No, he's going to score. Fantasy-wise, he'll be relevant.
Yeah.
100%. I'm not saying that. I'm saying if you're looking at his statistical numbers, not going to be as hot. 16 running backs since 1990 over the age of 30 have gone over this mark.
When are we going to address the king is up there? He's old.
Yeah, he's up there and he's beat up.
Him and Nick, they're both old. Like,
out of the 16,
they're both going under 1,000 rushing yards this year.
Yeah.
When the fall off is coming,
it's gonna hit him like a
punch him
truck
in the fucking face.
Maybe he's just bred different.
Wow.
You know? But yeah, the other names on this list: Frank Gore, AP,
his
Emmett.
bones about to fall off.
Raheem Mostert, get the fuck off the list. I don't know why you're on here. Curtis Martin had a great year, and Tiki had a great year, but then after that,
also different eras.
Yeah, also insanely different eras.
So
yeah, but again, I just don't see him in this offense getting the attempts with Lamar Jackson. I say that because only one running back has gone over 1,000. That was in 2019, their biggest yards year as an offense. Lamar had his MVP season, was the greatest. And Mark Ingram, 2019.
Also during the Mark Ingram was like their guy. And while, of course, if you sign Derrick Henry, you're the guy. But I think we could see in this first half of the season, first 5, 6, 7 games, we're like, oh, fuck. we might have fucked up on this play. But once Keaton Mitchell's back, they're going to put in Keaton Mitchell to do the first down, early field work, and then use Derrick Henry to push the pile to get in the goal line. Again, be fantasy relevant. But
you also look at the 2019 team compared to this team, and it's like, who the hell else was touching the ball? Like, that really was like a running back that would take away. Keaton Mitchell's a guy that will take away carries.
Yep.
Not only that, but like Justice Hill is still there. He's going to get his few. Like, this offense is going to run through multiple running backs.
Henry will be efficient. Because they're going to use him for exactly what they want to use him for.
He will be a 1-2 down back.
Yep.
And that's it. Like, they'll use first, second, push the pile, come in on fourth down if we need a 4th and 1. But I don't see him being a big third down guy at all. He's not going to do what he did with Tennessee this year, where he's going to have a fuck ton of attempts again, fuck ton of yards. It's not going to happen. He's not in that offense.
For somehow doing it again last year, but
his bones are.
I'm like declaring my Max Kellerman, Tom Brady. The cliff's coming. It's coming for Derrick Henry from me.
The cliff's coming. So we're taking his under. I love this line. I'm going to be honest. This might be my favorite line.
Really?
Yeah, like I really like it.
Okay.
The next one might be my favorite. I don't know. It's between the two, and we'll get into that. But you have two more guys on the list.
So you're fading one of the best.
Yes.
I'm also going to fade one of the best, or at least one of the most consistent. And I'm going to go under, lower, less than Mike Evans, 1,125 receiving yards. I know.
Jesus Christ.
He's Mr. 1,000, but that's the point. He's Mr. 1,000. He's never been Mr. 1,125, all right? Mike Evans in his career has only done this 50% of the time. So you're Mr. 10 years in a row, never missed. Throw that out of the ballpark. Also, he did do it this last year. He had over 1,200. Shout out to him. But before this most recent year, he hasn't done this since 2019. He hasn't done this at all in the Brady era. I think they overperformed last year, And this year, new OC, Dave Canales is gone. Also,
greatest.
Name any time Baker's had good back-to-back years.
Never.
This is what he does. You buy into Baker.
You're like, I'm all in. The energy, the juice.
As soon as you need him, as soon as you have expectations for him, gone. When he's down here, he's like the greatest buy low, but he's also the easiest sell high there is. And I'm not the only one that thinks that. Last year, Baker threw over 4,000 yards.
Yeah, he'll never.
His line on Underdog is 36.50. So they're telling you he overperformed, which is also telling me Mike Evans overperformed. I'm taking his lower, 11.25. This was 999.5 yards, and is he going to get 1,000 for the 11th time? That's different, but it's not that. It's 11.25.
I think the overperforming of Baker goes a lot of times unnoticed, where that is a massive. Like, he supported 2,000-yard receivers last year.
Yeah.
Do we think he's going to support two again?
Cone.
Yeah, shout out to Cone Godwin. Might be not a cone.
Facts.
But he's a cone. But yeah, 2,000 yards receivers, one getting 1,200 yards. He just doesn't do this consistent enough to get to that mark. Yeah,
I also just think the OC change is not.
Yeah, Dave Canales was cooking.
That dude became a head coach for a reason. Those are hard shoes to fill.
Yeah, no, he was cooking. Do you know who the new OC is? Don't matter. It doesn't even matter.
Neither do you, so don't act like you do.
Yeah, you fucking lying sack of shit in the comments below. You don't know this? Yeah, don't know it. Let's just head straight in to your next player here. Why not?
Want me next?
Just go again. Rip it.
This one actually hurts.
Yeah, this one I want to hear.
This is my boy. I'm again taking less than, under than, lower.
We are fading.
21.5 passing touchdowns for Anthony Richardson. Let me say this. I love AR. I watched him at college. Boy. I went to UF with him. I had classes with him.
Did his homework.
But he ain't throwing 21.5 touchdowns. I'm pumped when his rushing lines come out, rushing yards, rushing TDs. But 21.5 is like a decent amount. Jalen Hurts, for example, who I think is a comparable player due to him being in the former Shane Steichen offense. AR is now in the Shane Steichen offense. Jalen Hurts, the most he's ever thrown is 23 touchdowns. Do we really think AR is just going to come close and be able to match that in his rookie season? Also, he's reckless. He could get hurt again. Also, coming off of a throwing arm shoulder injury. Do we know how that is going to be? No. Do we even know how good AR is going to be? No. We only have a 3-game sample size.
He was great, though.
He was fun to watch, but he wasn't on pace for 22 passing touchdowns.
Hell no.
Wide receivers are pretty good. Pittman, Downs, they got A.D. Mitchell, but this is just not who he is. This is not the Shane Steichen offense. I think the Hurts comp of him already basically matching Hurts' career high is too high of a bar for AR. Gardner Minshew last year started like the full season. I know it's different players, but so you just have another comp in that offense. Only 15 passing touchdowns.
They were the high-scoring offense at one point.
Yeah, like this is a big AR JT option year, fun to watch year. AR is going to cook in fantasy this year. But passing, that's the one thing I wouldn't want to take the higher on with Anthony.
No, especially being just over the 20 mark in general. I'm not touching AR. Again, like you said, this is pretty much like his rookie year.
Yeah.
Like he only had
off surgery.
Yeah. No, I completely agree with you. Kind of fading there. Does he have the chemistry even with most of the guys?
Do you even know your teammates?
You even know them?
Do you even know you? Like,
honestly, I think my other problem with him is he is very reckless, and a re-injury to that shoulder is very, very highly likely. So I'm kind of slamming his lowers on honestly everything. Just because play the caution here. And I think that's the best value you're going to get for sure. Now I have one man left on the board. On the last guy.
One mama.
And this might be my favorite.
Okay.
1,000.
Finally, some positivity in these
and
props.
a half yards higher. DK Metcalf. He's going to smash this line. He smashed it last year on an underperforming Seahawks team. Not only that, they have a new offensive coordinator. Ryan Grubb is in the building, guys. Ryan Grubb, if you don't know who he is, he was Washington's offensive coordinator before. The #1 passing offense in the NCAA for the past 2 seasons with 370 yards a game.
That's a lot.
With a very similar offense to this one, they had an elite zone running back, Kenneth Walker. They had 3 receivers to rely on. What does the Seahawks have? Tyler Lockett, DK Metcalf,
JSN.
3 receivers that you can rely on, and they had 1 alpha, Rome Odunze, who went over the 1,500 mark this season, and I think DK might be in store for a big season this year.
Imagine looking at that wide receiver room and telling DK to his face, you're not the alpha here.
Yeah, you're not number 1.
Not going to be me.
Fuck no.
He is.
He had 66 receptions last year for 1,100 yards and 8 tugs. And again, that team with Geno felt very underwhelming. They didn't win a lot of games. They were always in low-scoring games. I think one of their highest-scoring games was literally against the Panthers in like week 2. Like that was like their 30-40.
One against Detroit
and like
too.
They didn't have many games. Like we can call back on a few games where they scored 30 points. That's about it. It was very low-scoring offense. And I think this year could be DK's true breakout season because they're not going to ask Geno to do too much. This offense with Penix, if you look at it last year, was a 1-2 quick read, get the ball out fast, get it to Rome, get it to DK, and give him chances. That's what they did a lot at Washington was they literally gave Rome Odunze one-on-one chances. Go get the fucking Brock. If DK gets those,
go get it.
He's coming down.
Go get it.
He's literally a freak of nature.
Yeah. And the only thing I would be worried about is Geno, but
yeah,
them trading him for Sam Howell. Like if shit hit the fan
great
and Geno's
insurance.
Gone, might be even better.
You know Sam Howell's
That's
slinging 400 a game.
That's great insurance.
Yeah.
Top tier insurance.
Yeah. So they
I wish shit goes wrong.
No, I hope shit hits the fan for you.
I get in a car accident or need my fucking flood insurance.
But yeah, no, I think overall, just him coming in this offense, it's going to be elite. And I think DK is going to be the beneficiary out of all of that. And easily crush over a line that's set lower than what he had last year. Insane to me. Yeah,
he's done this not just last year, back to back.
I know. I said Derrick Henry might be my favorite. I think this is actually my favorite.
He might be to go.
I love this line. And I'm a big DK believer. I think he has it in him. I think he's a buy low in fantasy right now.
It's always also just like a good feeling bet when you take a higher on a guy and he walks on the field and he looks the most intimidating.
Yeah, his aura.
Yeah,
his aura. Yeah. If we do an NFL aura tier ranking,
big alpha aura.
Brother wore the binky and still was like the guy. Yeah.
Until he plays Javarius Ward.
Yeah, okay. Outside of that, we can glance past that.
15 other games.
But yeah, so I think he's easily going to soar this line. And that is 10 players that we think there is massive value on
10
to
player
capitalize
locks.
on. And if you want to take all these bets, make sure you're taking it on Underdog like we did. You can get up to $250 free to play with and to place these bets with. So again, that's $250 when you use code BDGE on Underdog, and you can either tail us, which I think is a fantastic idea, and mix and match these plays however you like, or you can figure out your own. Dibble and dabble, see what you don't like, or just fade us. You might be completely
lost,
off,
buddy.
Yeah, thank you guys for watching, though. Make sure to like, subscribe, get us to the 1,000 mark. That is the goal for the season.
Please
get over 1,000 by then, and we will catch you next time on the BDGEBets channel. Peace.
Wow.